Go over some frequently asked questions about vetoed bills now that we finished with the governor's signing and vetoing period after the 2023 legislative session. So the first question is, how is a bill vetoed? The governor may veto a bill by returning that bill unsigned with any objections to the House of Origin. What does the House of Origin do with the veto? It is required to enter the objections, which is the veto message, in the respective daily journal. Can a vetoed bill be overridden? Yes, it requires each house to pass the bill by roll call vote, entered in the daily journal with 2/3 of the members concurring. What happens if both houses override the governor's veto? Then the bill becomes a statute. When does the vetoed bill take effect if the veto is overridden? If it is one of the four types of bills that take effect immediately, then obviously the bill would go into immediate effect, which is the day the bill gets a chapter number after both houses vote to override the veto. If it's a regular bill, then it's the following January 1, because the state constitution provides that a statute enacted at a regular session shall go into effect on January 1 next following a 90-day period from the date of enactment of the statute. What is the process to override a veto? In either house, vetoed bills are placed in what they call the unfinished business section in the respective Assembly and Senate daily files. So first, the House of Origin would take up the vetoed bill, and if the minimum 2/3 of its members vote to override the veto, then the bill would proceed to the other house for the same type of floor vote. How long does the legislature have to consider a gubernatorial veto? The legislature has 60 calendar days, with days in joint recess excluded, to act upon that vetoed bill. And this means the 60-day clock begins when the legislature reconvenes from its interim recess in the first year or its final recess in the second year. What happens if the legislature does not act on the vetoed bill within those 60 days? If no action has been taken during that specified 60-day period, then the measure is removed from the file and the veto is effective. What happens if the legislature successfully overrides a governor's veto? Then the bill is authenticated as having become law with a certificate. The authenticated bill is then delivered to the governor, and by the governor, it's deposited with the other laws in the office of the Secretary of State. The bill is given a chapter number in the same manner as bills otherwise approved by the governor. Can new legislators vote on a veto override? Yes. If the bill was vetoed in the second year of the session and the new legislator took office thereafter, then in fact he or she would be voting on the vetoed bill, even though the veto occurred in the prior session when they were not a member of the legislature.